I just watched Glenn Greenwald's talk about how the EU, some bureaucrat in the EU, sent, I believe it was Elon Musk, this real quippy letter about how if you don't censor X um, over the Hamas attack in Israel, then we're going to come after you. I'm not sure if this was a recent video. I think it was. He has put up some old videos, throwback type videos. The first time I listened to it, and there was one other one he mentioned, a censorship moment. I believe it was the Biden administration. There's a circuit court looking into what they did with the Twitter files. This court said it was one of the worst um, assaults against freedom of speech in decades, something like that. And I remember at the time showing a couple close friends that the Hunter Biden laptop, you couldn't even share the link in a direct message on Twitter in 2020. And I remember being deeply disturbed by their response, which was, oh, well, it's probably not true then. And they're liberals, of course. So anything that helped Joe win and helped Trump lose, that's good by hook or by crook. But I don't know. I've just had this quote. I believe it's the last sentence in Emerson's Self Reliance. And he says, I'm going to get the quote wrong, but he more or less says, nothing will make you happy but the triumph of your own principles. And that moment is not a triumph of a principle. I I don't know how you could be okay with that. Uh, you have to be a very cynical person to be okay with that. Anyway, the whole thing got me thinking because at the end, Glenn Greenwald, he's on the Rumble payroll, which good for him. Good for him. I love Glenn. I get it. You got to get paid somehow, especially how many governments he got going after him now. You know, but it got me thinking, like, because he did mention in there. He said Jack Dorsey said that we just need a censorship proof protocol. Um, so we can build a decentralized internet that way. I think he's thinking of Noster. If you've heard of Noster, I'm always a little suspect of Noster because they only allow Bitcoin, which, if you know anything about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is well, Roger Vere's got the best book. I want to make an audio book out of it. I think it's called Hijacking Bitcoin. Um, Anyone who only pushes Bitcoin to me, the Bitcoin maxis, I'm very suspect of you. Because if you actually use the other technologies, Ethereum, Avalanche, my personal favorite, if you use these other ones, it's plain to see that one is instant and cheap, and the other is incredibly expensive and slow. So if you're hawking a service that is slower and more expensive, and you're fear mongering to other people about how it's the only real one and you should only buy that one, the only people that are going to believe you are people who've never actually used it. I mean, it'd be like if you had two different delivery services. One costs $20 to deliver your food and takes an hour. Another one costs 10 cents and it teleports to your house. And an hour-long service is telling people that it's good for decentralization. I mean, it's the only one true delivery service. Sure, it costs more, but that's because uh, I mean that's all blockchain is really, the delivery service. So I don't know how they get off on that. Anyway, Noster. I do believe that they're right about it being at the protocol level. So, what are things on the internet that are not blocked? Cryptocurrencies aren't blocked. Monero is not blocked. Tor is not blocked. I2 blocked. Um, I guess Tor is blocked in China, but you can get over the block with the bridge. I mean, they more or less, the first time you run it, it literally has an option like, are you in China? Click this button. I mean, that doesn't seem sensible to me. I don't have any friends in China, but I'm pretty sure they can use Tor. Can they torrent? Torrents aren't blocked. Now, I asked the old AI, I go, can you block a protocol? Can you block a service on the internet at the protocol level? And it said you can. It said government could indeed block an entire service at the protocol level. I'm trying to think of the only time I've really heard that happening would be in Egypt. They more or less shut down the whole internet in Egypt, if I remember correctly. They can do that. I don't think, I don't know. I feel like you almost have to shut the whole thing down. I don't know if you can turn off certain protocols and not other protocols. The part of the internet that I really don't understand, and I wish I could understand a little better, and probably the only way I'd ever really understand it is by trying to set up my own. But it would be how to set up an internet service provider. I don't understand that. I don't understand how you do that. That seems tricky. But it seems like in this country, many internet service providers, it's quite a bit of decentralization. I think it would be difficult in America to get them all to do the same thing, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you could block them all at once. Doesn't seem possible. I'm sure it's possible, it's just improbable. That's mainly the thing with creating an uncensorable internet. Pretty much any idea you come up with, sure, it's possible. It's possible that they could block this or block that. Is it probable? Is it feasible? I don't think so. Not in a lot of ways. So I'm trying to think with my own online presence. I mean, I'm on YouTube now. I'm doing most everything on YouTube because I'm not a big channel. I have really no reach. I'm still thinking though about long term, like how do I want to set this up in a Julian Assange WikiLeaks fashion? What is my real? What is what you really want as a person on the internet? A truth teller, rabble rouser, revolution creator. What do you want? I pretty much what I want is to use YouTube to find new people or help them find me. Just a normal guy out in America, fighting the man, fighting the system, thinks working people deserve a better world. Do I have anything really unique to contribute to the discussion? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. There's only one of me. There's only one of you. I think the more of us do this, the better. You know, we need as big of an alternative media as possible. You never know who you might inspire. You never know who might need to hear what you got to say. So, yeah, I think it's all right. So you'd find my name, Tyler McConnell, and then say I get booted off this one. It's almost happened before. Thank you for your merciful grace, Alphabet. I appreciate it. I'd want you to be able to find me wherever I was. So you type my name into a search engine, probably land on my personal web page. Now, here we go. Here's where it starts getting interesting. How do I make a personal web page that won't be shut down? Can they just call the ISP and turn it off? That seems pretty doable, at least for a normie web page. Is there ways to host it like on a blockchain? Like I've heard this about unstoppable domains. Maybe a domain registry as an NFT. I'm not sure. I need to look into that a little bit more. But the technology that really seems promising to me, as far as the money that we can use in some sort of Black Mirror dystopian hell world, that the Democrats seem to be working on creating, or they at least want to create it, where they can censor everybody on the internet that disagrees with them. Not really censor you, but just make sure your ideas go nowhere. And that's kind of what motivated me to make this stream because Glenn Greenwald was talking on there about that court case. People with the Ukrainian government, whatever their name is, the FSB or whatever it is, were emailing Twitter and Facebook and saying these certain American accounts are anti-Ukraine or pro-Russia. I want them censored or deleted and that is when my own this YouTube channel when it hit a brick wall. Uh if you look at my most viewed video on this channel ever, it is me. It's a short video of me talking about the Ukrainian missile hitting Poland. The Russian missile is what they said. And then it started to gain traction. My views were going straight up for the lifetime. And then after that, 15,000 view ceiling on every video I've ever made on here. There's been a couple get through, but if you look at the chart, it used to go up like this, and then after that, it went like this. I was thinking the other day, it's not like I'm going to give up. I still think, there's way more I could do to build growth on this channel. Live stream every day. Make sure I release a book every month. My shorts, I feel like if I made very unique thumbnails or like did the AI, put the word over the video thing, probably get a lot more views on that. I don't think I'm doing it the best I can do it. I'm not saying that, but it was pretty obvious to see like, oh, you've been flagged as a political channel. We don't like your politics. We're going to put the boot on your neck. And it feels like, especially, we're going to put the boot on your neck around election time. There you go. I mean, I had a short over 1,000 and quite a while. I used to be able to like make a short of a banana and it would go crazy. So as far as uncensorable, we got the money. I feel like Monero's probably the world goes totally uh, Hillary Clinton authoritarian. That's the money for that. Um, there's other public blockchains doing really interesting things, moving things around. As far as the decentralized internet, though, I feel like we have IPFS, the interplanetary file system. IP. Yep, that's a good one. That seems like a decentralized storage service. Built on top of that was Filecoin, and Filecoin to me, if enough dissidents, free speech dissidents, ran Filecoin nodes, which at this point it's just too expensive. I don't know. The one on Antminer was like 50 grand to run, but that does seem like its own protocol where you can build functional websites that you'd have to shut down the entire IPFS network to shut down, which I believe I just saw the other day that Boeing, or I don't think Lockheed Martin's a company. Maybe it was Boeing. Lockheed Martin. I think they're still a company. McDonnell Douglas isn't a company. Got bought out by Boeing. Anyway, they were setting up an IPFS node. So they've gotten into the system. And I'm sure all these, Yasha Levine, Surveillance Valley is the book. I wouldn't be surprised if these or all these are DARPA projects. The idea we want to get websites that can't be shut down in Iran, 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 China, China, Russia, North Korea, Cuba, oh, Nicaragua, all the American favorites. We started it all. But the question is, can we use their own tools against them for a good cause? That's the question at home. And I think we can. And I think the answer is going to lie in a mix of Monero, Filecoin, IPFS, Tor, I2P. And that's what I wanted to make this about. What is the lens protocol? That's going to kind of be like a NFT lens that goes over your digital wallet. And any social media you go to, you can just see, oh, that's Tyler McConnell's NFT. That's really him. Your data travels with you from website to website. You own all that data. It's nobody else's. It doesn't unlock without your NFT. That makes sense. On a Filecoin website running on IPFS with files on IPFS, they can't be shut down. You'd have to shut down. Maybe you can ban only that protocol, but I think that's incredibly hard to do. To me, that is way more reliable and decentralized and just like a sense of sovereignty over your own digital life than just making a Rumble page, Glenn. I mean, that's good. I'm super glad it's there. I'll make a Rumble page. I have one, I think, but we need. And this is me as like a jack of all trades internet user. You know, I don't understand the part of the internet, like the actual development of this stuff. I don't understand that. Where's Panquake? Remember that? Where's that at? Evidently, it's hard to actually develop stuff because to me, it's like, well, just take YouTube's code, copy and paste it into a decentralized one, run the YouTube code like it's a torrent, and then you have a decentralized YouTube. That seems to make sense to me. But In reality, that seems incredibly hard to do. I think what was it, BitChute that tried to do that? I can't remember. The UI is always ugly as sin, always horrible. We need a web. That's what you need to really make Web3 and this decentralized internet really work. You need it's got to be as fast as YouTube, as slick, as easy to use, as easy to understand. Rumble is not that. Rumble is clunky. It's gotten better. I still don't even want to use it. So like feel fluid. Don't have that gloss. And maybe the rebel sites, maybe like my friend Caleb Oppen says, the rebel sites will never have the gloss. Perhaps. But I'm going to hold out a candle that it's possible. The technology, you could have Web3, Lens protocol. I was amazed. First time I used the website on Filecoin, on IPFS, it was faster than most websites I use because their hardware requirements are so high that it's really slick. Um, but that to me is what our focus needs to be on. And you guys know me. I have so many ideas. It will take multiple human lifetimes to achieve them, which I kind of think I may actually have. Maybe probably not as Tyler McConnell, but I kind of like to believe the soul is an eternal, and this human life thing is just a chance to learn things. You know, 70, 80, 90, 100, 100 years, whatever. Learn some things, take it on. So I've got no problem with learning a whole bunch of different stuff. I think anybody that tries to talk you out of that is just ridiculous. So maybe I should, learn Go programming languages, some Golang, and start being a part of this myself. Be the change you want to see in the world. I want these things to actually work. I want them to be slick and fast. And that's what I always loved about Assange because the technology is a means through which to spread the truth, you know? And really like Assange is like some manifestation book. He dedicated himself to spreading the truth, making it a reality, and then through being interested in technology to do that, he's got how much Bitcoin you think Assange has? He was there when it was $1. When he needed that flight to Australia, people gave him like $4 million in Bitcoin because he's one of the OGs. He's one of the crypto anarchists, cypherpunk OGs. When you do great things, the universe conspires. People conspire. I read that in Emerson quote the other day. People conspire to help you when they know you're one of the good ones. So be one of the good ones, people. And it's just some of my thoughts tonight. I hope you all are doing fantastic. Uh, I only see one comment. RIP Messi says, "Who are you yapping to?" Thanks. I don't even know if you're a real person. RIP Messi. This is also part of the internet world that we live in. you know. And live streams, I'll read the comments because often people actually know are on here saying stuff. But haters gonna hate, and you don't even know if they're real. You literally don't know if people are real these days. I'm listening. I can cook food. 083 is listening. Thank you, cook. You can cook food. I hope you're cooking some great food. I just had some Chipotle, which I am so rule that Chipotle to me is big city food. And I'm always like, wow, I'm gonna treat myself to a burrito bowl. It's quite nice. Looking back, you guys that have kept up with me on my ulnar surgery, getting one last scan of my elbow to make sure everything's good. Nothing's pinched in there. I didn't teach today. I had a sub today, so I could go up there and do that. Now I'm heading back, trying to get back before my daughter's. She's got her own parent teacher conference, and I hit a traffic jam coming out of St. Louis, so that was kind of tough. Anyway, I watched Greenwald, and I was inspired to share my thoughts on that. Love the idea of a decentralized internet. I love the idea of building that to spread our journalism around, spread truth. I don't think I've ever had Chipotle. I can cook food. 83. Are you from America, my friend? If you're not, that might be the problem. I feel like it's an American centric restaurant. But I was also a little like eye roll at Chipotle. This is the first time I ever used the app. And I got there before they'd made my burrito. So he just like went and got the receipt and was able to make it that way. That was kind of confusing. But I did ask him, I said, man, do you get this tip? They wanted me to tip you in the app. If I tip you, do you get that? And he's like, no. I was like, okay. So does it go to like all of you? And he's like, dude, I don't know. I was like, okay, well, that's good to know. If you ever want to tip your give him cash money. Small town, Missouri, originally from STL. Very cool, man. I'm also from small town, Missouri. Small world. Small world. I'm so glad you're on here, man. I'm just passing. There's the Jesse James Museum, one of Missouri's greats. Jesse James. We got everybody in Missouri. We got people that drop atomic bombs. What's that guy's name? Not FDR. Harry S. Truman. We got him. That's probably the worst in Missouri, I'd say. Pretty easily the worst. The Oppenheimer movie made him kind of look like a bit of a psychopath. Plenty of psychopaths in Missouri. Not that many. Not as many as other places. I really like Missouri. The fall is beautiful out here right now. But we do got Mark Twain, my man, the world's greatest smartass. We have Chuck Berry, the king of rock and roll. That's right. I can cook food 83. Mark Twain. My favorite story about Mark Twain is he said Mark Twain wrote so much crap about Theodore Roosevelt being an imperialist. He said under Roosevelt, we should replace the stars on the flag with the skull and crossbones. That Theodore Roosevelt refused to go to a ceremony at, I believe, Oxford to receive an honorary doctorate because he knew Twain was receiving one. And he said in his personal journals that he wanted to skin Mark Twain alive. And that's the kind of person I want to be, specifically to the Democratic Party, the Republican Party as well. If they're getting a little Dick Cheney-ish, George Bush-ish. Check. That's how I came of political age. But we also got some great outlaws: Jesse James, Robin Trains. I don't know as much about Jesse James as my dad. My dad will watch this and he'll scream all kinds of things at the screen about Jesse James. Uh, anyway, I'm gonna get off here and listen to some more. Quit being a content creator and go back to being a content consumer. There's plenty of us on here needing to help each other out. I saw so they're expecting 1 billion more people to come online by 2030. So the market is growing. It acts like it's saturated. Whatever. Hit the little red button and talk to I Can Cook Food 83. RIP Messi might be a little hateful, but that's okay. We got I Can Cook Food 83. A fellow Missourian. I'm telling you, Missourians, we got the best heart. Got the best heart. Best people salt of the earth. The heartland. And that's why. All right, everybody. God bless you. Through protocol, let's create a free. I don't know if I glitched out on that. We're going to end on it. Let's create a free, uncensorable, open internet together through protocols in Web3. That's the real way to do it. And come back, Julian Assange. Help us make it real, brother. We love you. God bless y'all. Peace.